Canelo versus Spence, 120,000 people in AT&T Stadium. Is that a fight that you're interested in?
No, pues obviamente es una pelea interesante. Errol Spence es un gran peleador. Obviamente si quiere subir de peso, pues, ¿por qué?
Well, obviously, it's a very interesting fight. If Errol Spence is a great fighter, and obviously, if he wants to go up in weight, then that would be a big fight.
No, en peso medio todavía podemos hacerlo y claro que sí, podríamos pelear en las 160.
Middleweight, yeah, that's something that we can still do. So yes, we could go down to 160.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This channel, we talk logic, we speak facts, and we speak of the truth, right? We're not biased here, nor do we just pull stuff out of our butts. So, Terence Crawford feels like Canelo Alvarez he's not being 100. He feels like Canelo Alvarez isn't being 100. On one hand, he's saying he'll go down to 160 to fight Errol Spence. But when it comes to me, he's saying that Canelo can't make the weight 160. I mean, so Crawford is asking, like, what do we think about that? You know, basically saying Canelo is some duck there, right? Some duck there. Now, I want y'all to put your thinking caps on, right? This is where we do a lot of thinking. We do thinking on this channel. We do some thinking. So, Errol Spence Jr., before he got beat by Terence Crawford, you heard the guy on Fight Hub say at the ATM Stadium, they can bring in 120-something thousand fans. Errol Spence had been packing the Dallas Stadium before he fought Terence Crawford. He's always been a pay-per-view star. Now, he's not a Gervonta Tank Davis, but Errol Spence Jr. can bring some butts out and put them in the seat. How many stadiums has Terence Crawford filled in Omaha or anywhere? How is his pay-per-view numbers in general before he fought Errol Spence? So that's what you got to look at. Okay, Canelo's seeing that Errol Spence Jr., he's bringing in revenue. He has a fan base. He's packing the Dallas Stadium. It's in Texas. Canelo's Hispanic. If they fought in Texas, that would bring a lot of Hispanic fans to Texas, and that pay-per-view would do well. So he would be willing to do whatever it took to get down to 160, whether he could make it or not, to get that fight made with Errol Spence Jr., just based off money alone. Now, let's talk about the realistic part of them two fighting. So now we know the money would be there, so the fight would get made. Now that you've seen Errol Spence against Terence Crawford, do you think Errol Spence could beat a Canelo Alvarez? Hindsight 2020 is the best vision, right? Because we can look back and we can study and say, Errol Spence couldn't beat Canelo Alvarez. So, yeah, the fight could be made because it's about money. But could Errol Spence beat Canelo Alvarez? No. He can't even beat Terence Crawford, right? At 147. So, with that logic, when we see that now, we saw what happened to Jermell when he moved up. We know that these fights is being made because of money. Not because these guys have a fighting chance of beating Canelo Alvarez. If you thought Errol Spence could beat Canelo Alvarez before he fought Terence Crawford, you're not thinking that no more. So, does Terence Crawford bring money like Errol Spence? No, he doesn't. He's not a star. The Errol Spence fight did well, but he's not bringing in butts like that. So why would Canelo Alvarez want to come down to 160 to fight a Terence Crawford, a guy he know he can beat for nothing? Does that make sense? So now that we know that, for one, Terence is not bringing in that type of money, it's not going to pique Canelo's interest enough to want to make that fight. So if he's not bringing in the money, and we know Crawford is a 147 pounder. Why would Canelo want to go down and wait to fight Terence Crawford at 160? It makes no sense. That's why Canelo's like, I'm not going down to 160 to fight Terence. I will go down to 160 to fight Errol Spence because Errol Spence was bringing in that bread. I'll do that. I'll lose weight. Just like some people will gain, just like Terence was willing to gain weight. He's willing to go up in weight to get the money. Canelo was willing to lose the weight to get the money. You see what I'm saying? So if the money is not there, there's no point in Canelo going down, losing 10 pounds or whatever to fight a Terence Crawford. It's not about who's going to win at that point. It's about, if I go down this way, am I going to get paid to do this? No, I'm not going to get paid. Now, if he was getting paid, there was some big money on the line, the fight would get made, obviously. But Terence is not a star. He's not a pay-per-view star. The two people that's bringing in the money is Gervonta Tank Davis and Canelo Alvarez and Errol Spence. I don't know how his numbers are going to do now that he lost, but Errol Spence was bringing in a decent amount of money. So we know Terence ain't going to beat Canelo at 168. We know it's not going to happen at 168. So Canelo coming down to 160, it makes zero sense in my book. So people are asking me, why would Canelo go down and fight Spence at 160 and not fight Terence Crawford at 160? He's willing to go down to get the money. Earl can't beat Canelo either. It ain't about him being scared of losing. He's not going to lose. Earl can't beat him. Crawford can't beat him. But Earl brought more money. That's why. So y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm out.